to the questions from the topic communication. Communication in the classroom takes place in which of the following levels? Opportunistic meaning, surfacial meaning, noise level meaning, and non-decoded meaning. Communication in the classroom takes place in surfacial meaning, and it shouldn't contain any hidden content or double meaning. Because whatever the content the teacher conveys must be clear and non-ambiguous in the classroom. Teacher must convey the exact and direct meaning of what he or she is communicating with the students. Where the students receive what was intended to receive from the teacher. There must not be any hidden content or double meaning if a teacher communicates something. Here in the classroom communication, everything is transparent. So you can say that the correct answer will be surfacial meaning. Option B. Now we are going to discuss the questions from the topic ICT. Question number 16. This is an assertion reason question. Two statements are given in the question. Assertion. Sniffing may be used to steal data or information over a network. Reason. Sniffing is a process of monitoring and capturing all data packets passing through given network. You have to select the option. In this question, you have to find out if reason statement is the correct explanation of the assertion statement. So the question is about sniffing. Sniffing involves careful examination, apprehension, decoding and interpreting the information inside a network packet that flows on a TCP/IP network. The major objective behind this is to steal information, which is very usually in the form of user ID, passwords, network details, credit card numbers, etc. So sniffing is generally referred to as a passive type of attack, wherein the attacker can be silent or invisible in the network. Thus, the sniffer is completely non-intrusive, which makes it difficult to detect, and hence it is a dangerous type of attack. Therefore, the given assertion as well as the reason is true, because the assertion statement states that sniffing may be used to steal data or information over a network. That is what sniffing is. Then reason, sniffing is a process of monitoring and capturing all data packet passing through a given network. That is the correct explanation of the assertion statement. So both assertion and reason are true, and reason is the correct explanation of assertion statement. So correct answer is option A. Let's discuss the questions from research aptitude. In which of the following research methods an empirico-inductive paradigm is employed? 5 codes are given in the question. You have to select the option containing the correct codes. In this question, we have to note the key term first. Here, the key term is empirico-inductive paradigm or empirico-inductive approach. Before we discuss about inductive method or inductive approach, we have to know what research design is. There are mainly 2 types of research design. It's a general classification. Research design can be generally classified into 2, quantitative research and qualitative research. Quantitative research is a research design which uses numerical data and statistical procedures. Qualitative research, on the other hand, it uses abstract concepts. It is the study of abstract concepts. So quantitative research focuses on quantity of something and qualitative research focuses on quality of something. So these are the general classification of research. Now we have to discuss what empirico-inductive approach is. By inductive reasoning, as you all know, it is known as inductive reasoning. Inductive approach is known as inductive reasoning, which starts with observations and theories. These are proposed towards the end of the research process as a result of observation. It is similar to inductive reasoning. So in inductive reasoning, we move from specific facts into general conclusions, specifics to general. That is what inductive reasoning is. Here, in quantitative and qualitative research, the only one research design that uses inductive thinking and reasoning is qualitative research, because conclusions change and evolve continuously as more data is collected in qualitative research. Qualitative research is often said to employ inductive thinking or induction reasoning, since it moves from specific observations about individual occurrences to broader generalizations and theories. So here, the only research design that uses inductive reasoning is qualitative research design. Now, Moving back to the question is about the research methods which make use of inductive method. So to answer the question, firstly you have to understand the method which is an example of qualitative research. That will be the answer. Here, the examples of qualitative research in this question are ethnographic method, case study method, and narrative method. Option 1, option 2, and option 4. All the other methods, ex post facto method and experimental method. These two methods are clearly an example of quantitative method which uses statistical and numerical data while doing a research. So, correct answer will be the option containing ethnographic method, case study method and narrative method 1, 2 and 4. So, the correct answer will be option C. We are going to discuss the question from the topic teaching aptitude. Question number 1. In which level of teaching lower level learning outcomes get focused? 4 options are given in the question: memory level, understanding level, reflective level and autonomous development level. So here the question is about level of teaching. First we have to know there are 3 different levels of teaching: memory level, understanding level and reflective level. All these levels are given in the question itself as the options. First, memory level. In the teaching hierarchy, in the teaching level of hierarchy, the basic level is the memory level. It is considered as the totalist level of teaching in which the student will learn just by memorizing things without understanding it. Then the second level of teaching is understanding level, in which the student will understand the concept by thinking and criticizing. So here the learner will try to understand facts, information and several concepts by using understanding things, not just merely memorizing. Then the third level is the most thoughtful level. It is the most advanced level, which is reflective level, in which the student will use his or her maximum capacity of utilizing cognitive and intellectual abilities. So these 3 are the different levels of teaching: memory level, understanding level and reflective level. So here the question is about the level of teaching which is focused on lower level learning outcomes. So as we know, lower level learning outcomes pointing out a basic concept of teaching. So the basic level of teaching is memory level. Memory level of teaching is the primary level of teaching or thoughtless teaching. In this level, the main focus is on the rote memory. Teaching at memory level is considered to be the lowest level of teaching. So we can see that memory level is the lowest level of teaching. At this level, the thinking ability doesn't play any role. Students only memorize facts and information and formulas and laws that are taught to them, just not understanding them just by memorizing them. In the memory level, role of the teacher is prominent. Student's role is just secondary. Memory level of teaching lacks insight. But understanding level and reflective level are some more advanced level in which thought of the learner is applied. So here the question is about lower level learning outcomes, which clearly pointing out the basic level of teaching, which is memory level. So correct answer will be option A.